Let me start things off by saying that Great Naval Battles Volume 3 is an SSI's Advanced Simulator series.
Which means that if you're a beginner in naval wargaming, you may want to put this game off for just a bit. Say, until you grow pointed ears and can compute pi out to the 40th digit.
Ahem. Great Naval Battles 3 is a very good simulation, but you may be right. This game is more advanced than many war games. But for anyone who loves to really get into the game,
Especially those who have an interest in World War II history.
those folks are going to find a lot to enjoy in GNB 3.
When you start the game, you choose which scenario you want to play, which includes deciding among playing an historical, random, or saved scenario, whether you'll control the US or Japanese, and your level of difficulty.
Dwight D. would have gotten his Eisenhower kicked on Expert. Be afraid.
Once you've demolished the 16 scenarios that come with the game, you can use the included editor to roll your own, but more on that later. At this point, it's time to declare war.
This is where things get a little tricky. There's a learning curve involved with this game. The interface is involved, but once you get used to how all of the functions interact, it's actually pretty easy to use. For a game of this complexity, everything is well organized, though you'll need to play 2 or 3 games before you really get to know where everything is. You command task forces of ships in actual World War II naval battles to carry out various missions. Victory does not always involve wiping out the opposing force, but sometimes demands merely holding your own.
SSI really did their homework in all of the World War II weaponry. Virtually all the ships and planes used on both sides are here in this game. Everything is historically accurate. World War II history buffs are really going to love this game.
You command your task force from a series of action stations and an individual ship from its bridge. Each station has its own separate screen, and these are complicated.
Told ya.
15 pages of the manual are dedicated to explaining the flag bridge station alone. Still, complex though they are, the stations give you an elegant means of managing navigation, gunfire, torpedoes, and air ops.
And all of the stations can be accessed with single key punches on the keyboard to avoid lots of point and clicking. With all the details you have to juggle in this game, that's really nice to have.
The map screen comes with an option called filters that you can turn on and off. These filters show things like airplane range, torpedo range, ship names, and so on.
And like most things in this game, the map screen might seem a little awkward to work with at first, but after working with it for a little bit, it'll be no problem.
Once you get the basics of how the game operates, GNB 3 becomes a lot of fun. You control every aspect of battle. You control the route, formation of your task force, and coordinate attacks with your carrier and land-based aircraft to accomplish your missions.
You also have submarines to command in GNB3, although you aren't able to interact with them in first person like you do with your other units. You basically tell your subs where to patrol and let them go to work. I don't know why there wasn't any more interactions with subs in this game, though.
Maybe it was, for historical accuracy, you think? You can command your ships on a number of levels. You can set any or all of the more detailed procedures like targeting on automatic and just control the larger aspects of the game.
Or you can do it all, turret by turret if you want, on any or all of your ships. You can get as deep into this game as you want. You can even customize aspects of the scenario such as gun accuracy, amount of damage, and torpedo dud rates.
If that wasn't enough, the scenario editor included in GNB3 lets you set anything up wherever you want it and however you want it.
This is great for those what-if scenarios you always wondered about. Now you can set them up and see what happens.
You know, SSI really did a great job with this game. The basics are done really well, gameplay is very adjustable, and the historical accuracy is impressive. The soundtrack is great as well, even if the sound effects are just so-so sometimes.
Be warned, however, that this is a very intensive simulation on any level of play. This is for the real simulation addict, the control freak in your life. This involves a lot of game time to play it like it deserves. The designers really put a lot into it that the casual gamer just won't get to enjoy.
If you're the kind of person that loves to really get into the nuts and bolts of a good naval war game, however, this game was made just for you.